G'day punters, welcome back to another episode. We've done a couple this week, but we're on to Sha Tin tomorrow. Back to our main, we'll just say form that we try and do and try and pick some winners.
Yeah, exactly, Adam. No, it was terrific to have Francesca Kamani and also James Doyle. Both were terrific with their time with us for our Royal Ascot special editions of two Colts in the Kong. Had quite a lot of good feedback, so that's really appreciated. But I do feel like we've had a week off. It feels like a bit of a different week, a bit of a late season freshen up, if you will, before we charge into the last 8 meetings of the season. How do you go fresh?
Sprint well, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, so hopefully we can find a few winners tomorrow. But yeah, it's been a good little week off. It's been great watching Royal Ascot. It's always a great time of year. And even though there's no crowds, but the racing's still been great and mixed something up every night, hasn't it? It's been some, some of the battlers getting the cash and, of course, some of the big dogs, including like Aidan O'Brien. Gosden's just a continued freak, isn't he? And Frankie, James Doyle, who we had on the show, he's had a very big week and he could, ride a few more winners tonight. So, yeah, it's been great. And Francesca, she found a few winners and her previews throughout the week have been very, very professional.
Exactly. James Doyle, of course, winning on Lord North and the Prince of Wales Stakes. But for me, the highlight of the week was how Stradivarius won the Gold Cup for the third time. That was just sensational.
He's a little rocket, isn't he? He's not worried about the wet weather. And I thought it was a pretty incredible ride by Frankie. He, jumped out. He was obviously probably a little bit worried about the track, but I think once he got out there and knew what was underneath him, he had a little look a couple of times to see. I think he was checking where Oisin was or checking if he could go back to the inside because he was on the outside of Ryan, popped back to the inside, pushed out late, got the outside. He's a freakish jockey, but that horse he's incredible. He just says bring it on, whatever you put in front of him. And his trainer, we just spoke about him before, John Gosden, he would. There's great trainers all around the world, but he's just you hear him talk and he sort of has that aura about him. You just want to listen, and he's just such a smart man, and he's definitely top 1, 2, or 3 trainers in the world.
Yeah, he's a super trainer. He's someone that you'd love to just sit down and spend 10 minutes picking his brain. You get to 10 minutes and you probably want another 10 minutes at him, but he is someone that whenever he talks and you hear him or see him being interviewed on TV, you do feel like you're learning.
Yeah, definitely. He's a genius, and I think it's fair to say, yeah, Frankie's getting older, but I think he would have, even though he's got older, he would have learned a lot from John Gosden over the last few years.
Yeah, certainly throughout his career. 70 Royal Ascot winners for Frankie. That all continues on Saturday night. As far as Sunday goes, Adam, big 11-race card, including the final 2 group races of the season. Let's get into it then. We start off with a Class 5 down the straight over 1,000 metres. I'm taking a chance here with Jimson the Dragon. He's got no weight in his back. He ran third in a similar race a couple of starts ago. He gets in much better of the weights, and he finished second behind Sparkling Night in a recent trial. That horse was an impressive winner recently.
Yeah, he's definitely he's got the ability to win this race, doesn't he? He just hasn't put it all together yet. I'm going to stick with Flying Monkey. I was on him last time, and he was very well supported. He did a lot wrong, hung in, and he didn't know what it was all about. I think back to the 1,000, up the straight, be absolutely perfect for him, and expect big money for him once again.
Okay, on to race 2, Class 4, 1,200 metres. I've gone with Noble Man just because I thought he'd get the best run on the race. I think the best horse in the race is Zach Purton's winning Brew, but from gate 14, second up, I thought I'd take him on.
Yeah, barrier 14 is a huge concern, but the way Zach is riding, he's somehow continues to find a good position with these horses. He's probably going to have to go back a little bit further than he wants. He'll probably run in 1,400 metres tomorrow if he doesn't get much luck. He's a nice horse. His debut run was really, really good, and from the all-weather track to the turf, I think that'll tick. Super Mission, I reckon, for me is the hardest to beat. I thought his recent trial was really good, and his last start effort was really good. And Ricky Hughes' team's obviously absolutely airborne. So, good little race, and of course, Noble Man, yeah, he's definitely going to be hard to beat.
Let's move along then and head to race 3, the first of our group races. This is the Premier Cup. For mine, Thanks Forever's clearly the best horse in the race, but he does have 133 pounds to carry. As a result, I'm going for Perfect Match with the lightweight in form, making his own luck up on the speed here. Do you go for the weight or do you go for the class?
I've gone for the class here. I think he'll just get it done, but I am really, really worried about Perfect Match because I think he's a nice horse. I mean, no one on his back. He's going to be very, very hard to catch. Karras is riding really well, and He won well last start, and the 1400 metres is a good distance for this horse. And I just think Zach will stalk, get out late with one last crack at him, and if he's good enough, he'll win.
So that's the Premier Cup, the first of the group races. The other comes up in the second half of the card. We'll get to that soon enough. Race 4, though, Class 4, 1200-metre event here. With the 9 on top in this race, I went 9, 5, 8 and 1. On with Jade Thea and Zach Purton here.
Got the same 4 numbers, Edward, just
Okay.
in a little bit of a different order. I've gone Golden Link. I think he's the best of the day. I really like the way this horse attacked the line last start. I think Joel suited him. He does have a bit of a weird head carriage, and he is learning. But I thought his run last start behind Johnny Sizer's first start was really, really good. He attacked the line like a nice horse, and I think with Joe on it, just sit behind the speed, he'll be very, very hard to beat.
Okay, that's race 4. We go to race 5, Class 4, 1200-metre race again here. Kind of cool. Hasn't had much luck with the barrier draws. Has always looked like a nice enough individual, and from a good draw with Zach Purton sticking with him, I'm prepared to tip him on top.
Yep, I like him as a horse. I think there's a very, very good horse in this by the name of Skyfield. Could go off early, but I think he is a very, very, very good horse. 100-plus rater, I think, definitely. The way he attacked the line in his debut was a sign of a very good horse. He has had a setback since, but you don't see horses trial like the way he did the other week, where he flashed home on the all-weather track and just did it with ease. I think there's something special about this horse. I went and seen him yesterday in Casper's stables. He looks like a nice horse, pretty relaxed sort of dude. So I just think there's something about this horse, and I think we could be able to see. I think he'll be the highlight of the day if he does win. And John Pegasus, of course, is racing well. Kind of Cool's a nice horse on the up, and Golden Bold, I think, forgive him last start. He was good first up, third up. He'll run a much improved race, but I think we'll see a good horse in this race.
Okay. Big wrap then for Skyfield. If he's a 100-plus rater, he's currently rated 54, so there are a lot of wins and rating points potentially in store for him. Class 4 2,000-metre race is the 6th race on the program. I might mark them as 12, 10, 13, 2. I've gone for Victorious Seeker because he's consistent, he's drawn well, he's got a lightweight here, but could see good days he's due for win, or even a Mr. Monty off the way that he performed last time as a hope in this as well.
Yeah, Kung Fu Master Panda will get Joe on his back. I don't think he's an apprentice's horse. He'll be very, very hard to beat. Good days, was good last start. Bullish Glory is racing really well. I thought Jolly Ferreira is a horse who I've got a bit of an opinion of. His first 2 runs have been okay. I thought his first up run was good. Second up run on that bit of a choppy track was not too good. But I think third up, ridden quiet, I think he could flash home into a place. But good days for me on top.
Okay, certainly due for a win. I'm going to go for Chad to get another one here, Chad Schofield in race 7, this time on Wonder Express. Thought he got to the line well. I'm quite happy to see him getting up to the mile here.
Definitely, yeah. He was good last start. He's a nice horse. He got the job done in the Class 5. And Class 4 last start, he ran a good race. Probably should have nearly won. And he'll get every chance from Barrier 2 tomorrow. But I'm going to go with Regency Master. I just thought he was much better last start from Barrier 4. He'll be there to be just come around the turn. I think he'll be there to pounce. So do I think he's the best horse in the race? No. I think Stunning Impact's a very nice horse. And Car Fortune, I hope he produces his best tomorrow because he's a very nice horse.
I thought you'd be tipping him on top, Car Fortune. You've been with him for a long way, Adam.
Yeah, I have. But Barrier 8, I don't know where they're going to go with that horse. So they'll probably just take him back and let him run home nicely again. But if they go hard, he'll be flashing home once again.
The last group race for the 2019-2020 season comes up as the Group 3 Premier Plate over 1,800 metres. The selection for me here, more than this, gut feel is 1,800 metres is his best trip. He's had a nice freshen up for this, whereas we are getting to the point of the season where a lot of horses are getting tired. He's been fresh and he hasn't done that much racing this season. I thought Zach Purton was interesting to hear what he had to say about the horse. I'll go for him to beat Furore and Southern Legend. Yeah,
I've gone with the class at the top, Southern Legend. He's a good horse. He's continues to find a way. Furore's been really good. 24 back to 18. He's rock hard fit. Tony's got this horse going really well. I just think Southern Legend will get the right run in behind him, and I think he'll just hang on to beat him. But more than this, is a very nice horse who I do have an opinion of. I just don't know about him in this race tomorrow. I think it's been a long season for him, and I think next season will be when we start seeing the best of him. But I think Southern Legend will be too good, and I think if you're all right, definitely be hard to beat.
Okay, well, you couldn't begrudge Southern Legend winning the season that he's had now.
No,
Tough he is.
he's a tough animal. He just continues to show up, and well done to his owners because he's a very, very good horse.
He is indeed. Let's go on to race 9. I could have gone a few different ways. I ended up going at him with Noble Steed just because I thought Class 3, 1400. I know the draw might be awkward, but I thought this is his right sort of race.
Definitely. I just missed him out of my numbers, but I know what he's like in this back in Class 4 or Class 3. He can get back and absolutely rattle home. I'm going to go with Flying Sword. He was much better last start. Tony Cruz had him for a few starts now, so he knows the horse. Karras rode him last start. He's fitter. He's got not much weight on his back. I think he'll be very hard to beat. Fantastic show. He's been incredible this season. Joe knows him well. Meg Choi's done a great job with him too. And I have put Super Rich in my numbers just because I do know he's a good horse on his day. And I actually thought his recent work's been a little bit better. So it wouldn't shock me if he come out and won, but I won't be tipping him on top anytime soon.
Okay, I get the feeling it's time to move on, Adam. Super Rich isn't going to be the same horse that he could have been. But
no, definitely not the same. He'll never be that. I'm happy to admit that. But if he showed up 60% as he once was, he'd pick these up and spit them out, I think.
Okay, big call, but I can see where you're coming from. Race 10, Class 3, 1400. And with Flying Victory here, second up, really good effort behind Amazing Chocolate last time out. It was a bit of a strange race, though, with a riderless horse, all of those sort of things. So there's a part of me that's hesitant about that form line, but purely off that run and the fact that he has had that run under his belt, I'm going to go for him on top. But it's not my most confident tip for the day.
No, I thought this race could be QQPs, play around with numbers 1, 3, 5 and 8. He was really good last start, Amazing Chocolate. He was poor before that. He was good to start before that. I don't know what Amazing Chocolate we're going to get tomorrow, but he's drawn a bit touch wide, so it's I don't know what he's going to do, if he's going to go forward or back on him, but not too much speed in the race. He could get into an okay position. High Rise Soldier, much better last start. Antoine Hemel on his back. And I also had something each way last start on big odds was Moraki. He's a horse I have a really nice opinion of. I think next season he's going to be a really nice horse, but as he steps up in distance. But from the good draw, I reckon he can just keep battling away and may even slot into a place. And Precious Express. We've spoken about him a few times.
Yeah.
He's a young horse, still learning. Drawn 4. Matthew Poon's riding well. He could be one for the exotics to chuck in, but it's a tough race.
Down in class as well too.
Yeah.
One more to go then, race 11, Class 3, 1,200 metre event to finish things off with. This is a race in 2 for mine, between Good Luck Friend and Biz Power. I've gone with Good Luck Friend. He's drawn beautifully. I think he's a nice up-and-coming type of horse. There was a lot to like about that last start win. Are you with him, or have you gone the other way?
No, with Good Luck Friend. I like him as a horse. He's a nice horse. He'll get the job done again. Biz Power's racing well, but I don't think he's in the same class as Good Luck Friend. And Elegear, he'll win one soon. Could be tomorrow.
Horse to look out for. Exceptional nice. I
Really
did
nice
like
trials.
the way that he won in Australia, and I like the way he's trialled here.
David Hayes, wasn't
he? Yeah, he was with David Hayes in Australia, so I think he could be a nice one just to keep an eye on.
Yeah, for sure. I liked his recent trials. It was a nice effort. I'm interested to see what like that can do. I know he's probably not his race, but he's a young horse. He's won his last few starts pretty well, and Barrow 10 1 month through on his back, he could give a good side out in front.
I remember this time last year we had a similar sort of situation where we had a Thero lining up in a Class 3 against the older horses as a 2-year-old, and I was prepared to take him on 2-year-old against the older horses. He fairly strongly proved me wrong that day, but I don't think like that's in a Thero. So again, I'm going to stick to my guns and take him on as a 2-year-old against the older horses. Yeah,
they're not the same horses, but he's done his job like that. He couldn't run a cheeky race, but I think Good Luck Friend's a nice horse on the rise.
What's your standout?
Good Luck Friend. Yeah. I think Ricky could have a big day.
Okay. Yeah, I think he could too. I'll go for Good Luck Friend as my best as well. I do think that Perfect Match will run a big race, and then there's a few tricky races amongst them as well through the day too. So I don't think it's an easy meeting, but I go in with a bit of confidence with a horse like Good Luck Friend.
Definitely, and Skyfield. I think he's a really nice horse to follow. Just if he gets some speed on up front tomorrow, I reckon. Obviously, he's new and he's still racing. He's got a lot to improve, but I think once we see his best, there's going to be a very, very nice engine underneath this horse.
I'll also give race 5, number 2, Kinda Cool, the solid push. I think he gets his opportunity.
Any roughies?
Roughies, Adam, good question. What price do we think Jimson the Dragon will be? He'll be one of the hopes in that race. What about for you? I'll let you go first.
I thought it was a day that maybe the favourites could have a big day. I was maybe going to say Regency Master if Zach didn't ride him. I'm going to stick with I think it's going to be a day for the favourites. I haven't figured out really what my value tip at the moment is. That's a horse who I'm going to think that could run a much improved race. The horse has a lot of ability. I think if Chad rides him quiet and they go back on him, I think he can run on into a place and he could even win because I think he's a very nice horse. But for a horse who I think who isn't showing much ability and has more ability, I think Orr could be a bit of a value runner.
Okay, well, you've given me 20 seconds to think about the value bet.
Yep.
I'll go Superb Daddy.
Yep.
Looking at that last start win again, it was 3 wide throughout. It was a really tough performance. He's up in class, but he'll have no weight on his back, drawn well. To race with a few chances in it, he's not going to be at a huge price, but I would have thought he'll be at $8, $10 perhaps more. And at that sort of price, I do think he represents some value.
And no weight on his back. Horse won well last start. So, yeah, definitely right. It is a good day of racing, but it does look like the favourites could be a good day for the favourites. And, of course, the Joe versus Sack battle continues. Just keeps lingering around the 3 to 4 winners, doesn't it, at the moment? So it's going to be a good couple of weeks ahead.
You sort of feel with the books of rides they've had recently, it's like Joe's bowling well, but just not able to get Zach out type of setup, to use the cricket analogy. Zach's just block, doing enough to keep his nose in front.
Yep, he's just trying to find the gaps.
Yes.
If he's hitting the fielder, he's happy, as long as they're not in the air.
Exactly. So I think it'll be still advantage Purton by the end of tomorrow. I think they've both got some good rides, but I think if you're leading in this scenario, you've got the advantage, despite what the leader has been saying recently.
Yes, definitely. No, it'll be a good battle to the end of the season. And don't forget, trainers too. It's getting very close. There's 3 trainers, 4 trainers. Could come out and win it. So may the best man win.
Absolutely. I think it's been good, actually. We've had this week break, an opportunity to look at some races from elsewhere with Roy at Ascot on, and also just builds the anticipation up for what we've got over the last 8 meetings, the last month really left of the season before we finish up.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. And it always is. It's the racing's, of course, not as good as we don't have the Group 1s and Group 2s left, but always this time of year we've got our 2 more, Joe and Zach are always going at it. And normally, size is probably a few lengths clear in the Trainers Premiership, but this year it's a bit different. And Ricky's just continues to find nice horses, and I think tomorrow could be a big day for him.
Ricky and Zach both seem to be doing the same thing. They're doing enough to hold their lead, and at the end of the day, when they put up the honour roll, winning trainer, winning jockey, champion trainer, champion jockey, they don't say how much they won by. They just say who won at them.
Doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning's winning.
You still win.
Have a great weekend, and hopefully we can put on a clinic tomorrow for you all. Enjoy.
Thank you.